4 o'clock, everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, I believe this is meeting 6. Left on the table currently, supplemental salaries, which is obviously tied to the salary schedule. Parental leave, teachers do substitute pay, and universal leave is the only topic I believe that has not been discussed at all. Last meeting, a lot of talk on the salary schedule, which also ties into supplementals. So, whoever would like to begin.
Somewhere you wanted to start?
Sure. So, after the last meeting, we kind of went back to look at what we had on the table. We feel like when we added the 750, we overextended ourselves. We don't know if we can put that in the budget. So we went back to the drawing board. Adam, if you wanna. So we're gonna take that last offer off the table, and we're coming back with 1,200 on the base, so that will stay. Not a one-time payment, 1,200 on the base, and we will increase subbing to 25 an hour.
Yeah, Chris, sorry.
Mine does it all day long.
Yep.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You're fine. So,
Okay, October 7th.
the subpay proposal that we drafted, I think it was originally given out in July, the July meeting. It also included language that says that this rate would take place in the event that a professional employee also is asked to perform administration duties when an administrator is absent. Currently, if an administrator is out of the building for whatever reasons, teachers are asked to step in that role and they are not compensated for that. So we're asking for that additional language. So this proposal that you gave me doesn't have that language in there.
We just took that out of last year's, out of last year's.
So I have the proposal that we gave to you. I think it was July.
To be able to perform those duties, would a teacher, I'm asking for my own knowledge, would a teacher be required to have an administrative?
Administrators typically try to use someone in the building that does have an administrative master's. That's typically been the practice over time. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's every single time, but they typically try to make that happen.
Yeah, if that person is in the building. Not every building has somebody with those credentials, but
That's the common practice though. A lot of us that were, before we were administrators, got pulled into those roles because people knew that we were in school for that or were interested in going that direction. Gave us some experience.
Because we can't really talk about it here. Do we need a caucus real quick on that and maybe pull in our head administrator? Okay.
Just go back. And we'll be,
We go back.
we're back in here.
yes,
Yeah.
back in the conference room.
Thank you.
Yep. wanted to remind everybody that the camera's on and it picks up conversations awfully well, so. Just a reminder. Sometimes it's easy during a long caucus to forget that, so.
So can we go back and delete all the things I just said about you?
Go for it, go for it. That's all day, every day for me, Eric, so I don't worry about
I
it.
know. What'd you say, Beth?
I said I already stole all that in the 3Cs, so
Can we
it's already
talk
been
to you?
documented.
Yes.
We thought you were following us,
Oh, sorry.
and then we were going to say, we were gonna wait for you to come in and say, no, really, we want Chad.
I went to the one, the words back in September. That was really good. Mhm. Yeah, it was words, and it was really, really good. And a lot of useful things out of it.
Really enjoyed all of those.
I've been taking some of my college credit classes through for movement on the scale of this, I have my master's, but through Idaho State University. And they were even offering like a $200 credit, so that paid for like my first 3 hours, and then $35 of my next. So we have a year completed, you look at it at your own pace. So, and I know because the way we do the same as you've done, some of them really liked it, okay. So I'm just doing that, get the rest of my hours that I need, the next 12 hours. Okay. It's just, yeah, it's like you just know.
Establishing a
Yeah. You'll have to keep getting out. But those are a little bit easier, because you don't have to do it in preparing studies. Yeah. Yeah, if RVO paper Achilles, they were quite the team of thing. Just being honoring. Miss teacher, constantly writing on this vocabulary thing, and I'm like, okay, where's her birth? Miss teacher. They were just being silly. I'm like, come on. You know my name. It's not Miss Teacher, you're not kindergarten. Jada.
Yeah, he did come, he does read in last year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, at home, right?
Yeah. He's pretty quiet, but he brings it out, I mean, what to tell you that. But you can tell, and they know I'm pretty relaxed. And they get buckled down and do what they're time. But we were practicing with our cab words. I myself, we were the cab center. So then I got them busy and started putting them on the jam sessions. The kids and I eat it. It's great. Yeah. It depends on what it is. Because you have 100 kids instead of just your 20 or whatever. And so it's a lot. It's, especially if it's a writing assignment, it's horrible. But otherwise, we take some things a lot of it for you, but you still have to, like, I don't like how, like on some of these, like, question 9, it has 5 different choices or 6 different choices, and they lump it all together. Even if you miss one, you got them all wrong. And so I count them out individually, so I have to go. And it's like, yeah, and then like on the sequence, if they've learned 1 or 2, they've missed the whole thing, and I count them each one. She has to make a decision. So I count them out a little bit, cause myself more work. And we go to the one resources that it's states and puts do the same thing. But we look like it. Trying to be creative to have bigger squares and then it's a huge chicken. I'm like, great.
I won't be doing that anymore. We just copy and email all this thing.
Sure.
And then forward you on that. Thanks. I'm not sure. What? And then, this is what we're new mattress. We can rotate those, send it back to tables and kitchen table. She's like, I can also fit if I married one. She's in her grandmother's. One arm is falling on. It's falling off. I think. She's been sitting like that. She doesn't want to. She's like, no. She's like, I don't have to work too much on the cooking, so. She couldn't even walk inside the stores today because her hair felt so bad because she's.
I've got to eat part of that job.
Just right.
Yeah, I just got it. Mine was Jack.
Amy's been,
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Clothes. There you go.
Alright.
We reviewed it and we talked through a few different scenarios and we would like to keep it as it is written and just update the $25. Our line of thinking is if someone needs to fill in for an admin, they will be pulled from the classroom and they will still be getting their contracted salary to be doing that singular job. The reason for the teacher's substitute, that is for someone that's taking on extra duty. And so if we have a teacher being pulled to cover an admin, they will either be getting a substitute or they will be having another teacher who will be getting this pay to cover their job. So if we were doing both, we would be covering it twice.
And just so I can clarify, it's voluntary for somebody to agree to take on admin duties when admin's gone. Is that voluntary? Like somebody isn't told that they have to take that position? Like it's up to them to decide if they want to take on those roles
That's
in,
my understanding. I don't think anyone's been forced.
okay, I just wanted to clarify.
I mean, if someone has, then we need to know about it. So we
I don't know of a situation that somebody has been forced to. I'm just asking if you're saying that they're going to be paid to do that position. I'm just making sure that they have the option to volunteer to say no if they don't want to take that duty on.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we'd like to pivot just a minute from the sub-pay and talk about the change in offer. I guess my first question is, what changed from our last meeting to today with numbers as to why your offer that was left on the table last time is now being rescinded?
I don't think that we thought it through enough. I think that we made a snap judgment trying to get things completed. When we discussed numbers with the board at our last meeting, to be quite honest, we were already over what they had approved us to go. Going another $750 was well over that. We should not have gone that high. I don't think that any of us feel comfortable in our budget going that high. So having a week off to go back over numbers and look at it, this is a more doable number. When we were looking at that, what were we? We were looking at like $600,000 over what we are getting as an increase from the state. And that's quite the stretch. That's a lot of cuts that are gonna have to happen to make that work. Going down to this, we're still looking at $426,000 over our increase from the state, so we're still looking at, we know we have a little bit of wiggle room in there, but we're still looking at, you know, $200,000 to $400,000 that we need to find. And it's just more comfortable than looking for 6.
Okay, so when we came in today, we allowed you to start with our conversation. But if we would have started and we would have accepted the position, the offer that was currently on the table, what would have happened then?
We would have had a very difficult conversation with the Board of Education.
Okay, well, what I'm understanding is,
But yeah, I mean, you didn't accept it, you gave us another, and so we thought everything
no,
was
we
back
didn't
on.
give you another. When we left last time, on the table was $1,000 per cell, $750 one-time payment, and we asked for the sub-pay, and you came back and said no to the sub-pay.
Right.
So the other offer was still on the table. We did not have time to
And-
discuss anymore.
It was tabled.
It was tabled.
And we are letting you know that the Board of Education won't be comfortable with that. We overextended ourselves.
So you're asking us to go back to our bargaining unit and take less than what was offered a few weeks ago.
We should have offered that.
So my understanding is that's called regressive bargaining. And that is a prohibited practice. When you put an amount or an offer on the table, and then you come back and rescind that,
Can you get
that's
our
a
attorney on the
prohibited
phone?
practice.
We're gonna caucus, and we're getting our attorney on the phone. Can you get Lauren? I can get her on the phone.
You got it, Darcy?
Adam, would it be okay if we spoke with just the staff? If we had some time in the room?
And this is recorded.
Can that be paused?
I don't know, can the recording be paused or no?
That's between you, the two sides, I would say. Because then you guys both agreed to that.
This is,
Well, you can stay then, because we shouldn't speak if it's being recorded. I just thought if somebody out there maybe had a question or something they might wanted to add, they could do that, but it's not that kind of an environment for it, so never mind. Okay, I'm sorry, I
that's
don't know if
fine.
I didn't
No,
step out of line.
that's fine.
Do we wanna also go back?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
okay, thank you.
now y'all can make people just
You'll be interested.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Good job, Dina.
Are the microphones, Adam, the microphones there?
I believe it's this thing in the middle. And then there might be one on the device behind you.
I was thinking we just play music on there, we could have our conversation.
I can sing.
Oh, let's not.
Yes, bring it on.
Great idea.
I'd like to hear that. I mean, I'll dance for you, but then we would really be bad.
Only if you stand right under it and project really well.
Yes.
My family will tease me for that. Things I'm terrible at, singing, things I do all the time, singing.
I sing great when I'm in the shower. You know, like, for some reason that water, it just projects my voice very well.
chords.
It's the
Reverberation
yes.
or whatever.
I sound like I could be on The Voice or
Oh, yeah.
something.
Sign you. 3 walls.
I'm just what you're looking for.
dog's birthday and Halloween costume.
What size is she? She is teeny tiny, she's much smaller than
She is not teeny tiny, she's a giant loaf of bread.
I have dog costumes
Christy
in
just
my house that
texted
we're
back
not
and
using
said, that microphone is
She's
picking up
15.
everything you're saying.
The pictures that I see show.
Hello, Christy and Daphne.
So our big cockapoo, which she's like between 16 and 20, just depends on the day, I guess, but we have a shark costume because 1 year Blake was a lifeguard. And so she got us. Then last year, our Yorkie, we had to get her a cat costume. To fit her like a cat sized costume, and it was a unicorn because we did just like
Hello.
and Tatum was the best lover. So she had to have a unicorn, right?
Every year, those cat costumes talking. She's like, the costume really hard. That must be like an indicator of how much she loves them.
Right.
Well, that would be really cute. And if they don't fit, we can do a really silly. No, he's. This is the big horse. So she has to go. She has to go trick or treat at the pickup truck.
And the fire, and the passenger truck on fire. There were 2 civilian fatalities. In 160, on 160 between Hillside and Mall.
Yes, like what are you talking about? There's no down that way. That makes sense.
We were outside at recess at 10:05. And we heard all the sirens and it just kept going and going and
Down there. Maybe he went.
Compared to that. For like 7 years now. And 2 years ago. It's just so easy to train.
So we made contact with our attorney and she agrees that what we've done is we've repackaged. We're adding more to the base and that's forever money. And in her legal opinion, that is not regressive bargaining. We're repackaging what money we have. We are putting more towards the base, more money that will continue throughout the year. We're just taking away the one-time payment.
But the total package is less.
Okay.
Correct?
It is,
And that's where I don't understand how that's not regressive bargaining. If you've offered one amount and then you come back and had a lower amount.
so in her legal opinion, adding the forever money that we are going to have to, budget for year to year, that is not regressive.
Well, one thing that has been troubling to us is that it seems as though every time we sit down, there's different numbers that you're giving us for like how much this one's gonna cost, how much money you're gonna have to go find in the budget. You just said that every cent that you're getting from the state in new money is going towards funding this.
No, it's going towards salaries.
So if it's going toward teacher salaries, how were the administrative salaries funded?
That's what I'm trying to say, is we're getting $433,000 new money from the state. I'm looking here, is this the updated number?
Yeah, these are all.
Okay. We're looking at $24,000 towards admin increases this year. Classified was $139,000. The negotiated agreement, steps, columns, and $1,200 is $675,726,000. With that increase, when we put that towards supplementals, because it is a percentage, that's another $20,971,000. For a total of $860,499. So that puts us in salaries alone, that puts us $426,837 over the increase that we're getting from the state. So that's money that we need to find from the state. That does not include any other inflationary increases that the district is going to have this year.
May we have a
Insurance,
copy of
utilities,
that
gas.
spreadsheet?
Can we get them?
Do we have that? Am I out of turn? And I say it just so
No,
that
I
we are
know, I completely
reading
agree,
from it,
yeah.
I mean, not that
Or I could
you're-
even write it up.
So when you're saying supplementals, are you referring to what? Are you referring to,
Whatever percentage it is, correct? Whatever percentage the goes on to the scale also goes towards supplementals.
Right.
So that would be that increase.
so on the subject of supplementals, the committee that was put together came out with recommendations. What are your thoughts on those recommendations and funding that?
My first thought was,
Cause earlier in the summer, you told us it would be 35,000 for supplementals. Did that include some of that kind of stuff?
Not any adjustments to the scale, that was just adjustments as no increase.
Now it's 29.
No, we did not, this is without moving supplementals at all. The $20,000 is just adding the $1,200, it's not moving It's not moving your cheerleading, or it's not
Oh,
moving
that's not
wrestling. Yeah.
Those
it
numbers
was-
that she gave, I believe,
was
if we
leaving the scale
moved-
as is.
So the 35,000 at the beginning was if we moved.
Right. That's if you move somebody with no increase.
So again, what's your thoughts on that?
We need to discuss that as a group, because I'm not gonna say my personal thoughts on that, I think that's something that the whole group needs to say.
Okay. I think.
I know when it came to how many positions we had, I thought it was clear in the group that we were gonna leave that up to our admin to decide how many positions that we needed, what fit best. Because we discussed that that wasn't something that should be negotiated. Sitting here, we can't decide how many coaches we should have for a sport.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking the recommendations on increasing the salaries for the assistant coaches, increasing the salaries for cheer and wrestling, adding a coach for wrestling, for girls wrestling, those
Wanted to move
recommendations.
cheer to the top tier.
And those were things that we thought could be taken care of depending on numbers, and that would be an Adam call.
But doesn't that affect the budget, cause won't you have to pay for that?
Well, when it comes to, we would like to move, assistants. We don't think there's room in the budget this year. It all comes down to budget and how much we're getting.
Right, and that's what we're
We
trying,
don't,
we're trying to see, so what I'm hearing, and maybe you need to clarify, what I'm hearing is that you're saying there's no money right now to do any changes to this current schedule for supplementals.
I think the most that we can do is look at numbers for the wrestling head coach, because we did think that that was something important. And that's a call that they're gonna have to make when they figure out, I do not think that there's room to make any other changes to supplementals this year, as much as I would love to, as much as we would love to. I mean, I can't stress enough, going back to that $433,000, and we're trying to make it stretch into $860,000.
So the $750 one-time payment compared to the $200 on base, there was just a $60,000 difference in this.
That's a position that we can take on.
What was the last thing you said?
That's a
So we're
position.
budgeting for another position this
No,
year.
I'm just saying that's a salary. I'm trying to equate it to something. We also think that putting 1,200 on the base is better for the long term of the district. Our goal has always been to get that base up, so if we can do 1,200 on the base, we feel like that will be a better long-term solution.
Our goal is also to improve the base, but the last meeting, you said that 1,000 was as far as you could go. And now again, this time, you're saying that you could do 1,200.
Because nothing's ever good enough.
Cause what?
Nothing's ever good enough.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I have board members that want 800 and told me to stop at 8. Went 1,000 because I think that you deserve so much more. I explained the numbers and we have to have a stopping point. That is I feel like we're kind of splitting the difference in our overage. I mean, we have to draw a line in the sand somewhere, and I feel like we keep moving the line, I shouldn't say we keep moving the line past what's comfortable. We're doubling what we're getting.
Do you know what the average increase was for your admin this year?
We did it a little differently. I don't have it on my phone.
Well, I had down that the average increase was $2,518, which is a 2.56% increase on
We're not
average.
negotiating their we don't even negotiate with them for their,
I understand that,
contracts.
but that plays a part in your budget.
and
Another thing that we tried to do prior to start sitting down for negotiations this year, last spring, we surveyed our bargaining unit. And one of the questions that we asked, or several questions that we asked, was about support. We asked the bargaining unit if they felt supported by their building administration, and 84% said they did. We asked if they felt supported by their district level administration, and 71% said they did. But when we asked if they were feeling supported by the board, only 21% said they felt supported by the board. And I feel like the reason for that stems from the year to year being told there's no money, but there's money for other things. And again,
We have other responsibilities we have to have money for.
we know. We are, this team and the employees that we represent are not trying to be greedy. We're not being unreasonable. We are just asking that what we are being compensated is equal to our workload. We've come off of the percentage, that was what the bargaining unit asked us to come bargain, we've come off of that. We have come off of several of our other proposals to try to meet in the middle. And we feel like we're hit with different numbers every time we come. We're hit with one proposal and then backtracked on it. It's just frustrating, and we don't want to be in that position. Nobody here wants to continue this conversation. We want to come to a agreement, but we also aren't going to just take whatever's offered when the last offer is more than what you're currently offering.
so $433,000 is what we're getting in an increase from the state. We are offering $675,726. And we need to find more. So where do we need to get that money?
Well, I know that you added 2 new positions.
Okay, those positions have been hired. and
Right, but
we can't go back.
I understand that you can't go back, but I also think that budgets are kind of it shows us what you feel is important. And so when you
And we
made
felt
the budget,
supporting the staff and student outcomes are the most important.
but by adding those positions, you aren't supporting your current staff because you're taking money that could have been put towards, and you're telling me you need to find additional money, that there's $100,000 and some $1,000 there, which I know you can't come back to, but I'm just saying that these are the thoughts that I'm hearing from our bargaining unit. And so that's additional money that could have been put towards where we're at now, that we can't do anything about. But you're asking us to help you, and that's the first thing that,
Well, you're asking me to squeeze an orange and there's no more juice in it. So that's why I'm asking for help, because I don't know what more we can do.
I actually think there is no more that we can do. We have to keep the whole district running, you know, no college education or nothing here. But I can look at these salaries here. They're really pretty good for Wellington, Kansas. And as a taxpayer, I think that to me looks pretty good. I've got 2,000 acres that I farm. 2 years ago, I sold wheat for $7.73 a bushel. It's $4.13 today. So I understand about a pinch. But when the orange is dry You just gotta say, that's it, folks. We can't do anymore and still keep the district running as it needs to and everybody supported like they need to.
Well, I appreciate you, Bob, and I appreciate your volunteering to be on the board. And I know that your job as a farmer is very important and hard, and I know you've done it for many years. I also think that the teaching staff here in Wellington works hard. And I know that looking at the salary, it does look good, possibly from your point of view. But we've shown that we are below the surrounding districts. We are also about 11% below the state average for our salaries. And so it's just, you know, at some point, it's like, when are we ever going to be competitive? And we've had this conversation and asked this question, you know, what is the board's goal to help us get there, be competitive? And you talk about increases in your prices for your crop. The cost of living increase right now is 2.5%. It's projected to be 2.7% in 2026. We already stated that the administration got a 2.5% increase, so that's relatively comparable to the cost of living. I haven't had an opportunity to do the math for your $1,200 increase, but the $1,000 increase for the base was a 1.47% increase. And then those people who are stuck on the last step in our current salary is only a 1.47%. And I apologize, the increase for the base for the 1,000 was 2.18.
May I ask, our admin, we keep comparing to admin, we keep comparing to custodians. They don't have annual steps and columns based on experience. Why are we not taking that into consideration when we're looking at percentages?
I didn't set up the payment salary schedule for either of those. That's something that the board could choose to do.
Well, no,
You come up with the amounts.
The math.
I think it's because the bottom, like a bunch of people are stuck.
Because when I'm looking at a percentage increase with the steps and columns on the $1,000, it's anywhere from 2.18, and this is on the $1,000 increase. When you add in the steps and columns, it's anywhere from 2.18 to 3.46, and that's at $1,000 when we add in the steps and columns.
That's a little deceiving because that is not what it is for those people who are stuck at the bottom. They don't have a place to step down or movement. And if they want to move over, they have to go back and get classes, and that is the amount that you're offering is not gonna pay for that.
It just comes out of yours, no?
How many schools? Or both?
I'd like to say a few things. Thank you for the permission of the Wellington negotiations team. Despite what your attorney tells you, I think that there's a great argument, and your attorney would have to be contracted by you to try to defend it, I guess, if it were to come to a hearing of some kind. But we believe that what you guys did earlier would be considered regressive bargaining, and would be considered an example of what's called bad faith bargaining. That doesn't mean that we thought there's any malicious intent, we just believe that you came to the table not realizing that you shouldn't do that. And so if you think, or your lawyer thinks there's a technicality upon which you could maybe perhaps win in a fact finding or something, then that's something that you have to consider, I suppose. But this team, I know, does not believe there was any ill will or bad intent. They just think that, and tell me if I'm wrong, team, correct me, but I've listened to them and I've worked with them for a couple of years, and that they believe that even despite good intentions, that they've been subjected to delays on information requests, difficulty scheduling meetings. You're the last local in, I don't know how far away, that's not finished yet. It's October, you're on your 7th meeting. And each time I've come to meetings, there's been new information or newly discovered numbers, or numbers that weren't the same as last time's numbers. And this time, you came to the table saying that we came to the table last time unprepared. And we didn't know, we didn't know something last time, and we've learned since then that our offer last time is unsustainable, and our board was not comfortable with it. There have been several occasions when I've personally heard what sounds to me like a team that, again, despite all of your good intentions, comes to the table without the authority to bargain. And by law, the board's team is supposed to be given the full authority to bargain. And so to either have the authority or not, you have the training that you need to know or not. And then you come to the table with accurate numbers and you provide the information that's requested in a timely manner so that the other team can be prepared. So after all of that and all the frustration of this team, they came in here tonight trying to figure out how they could take something to their bargaining unit for a ratification vote after what happened last time. And they were hoping maybe to be able to come in here and tell me if I'm wrong, guys, and say maybe you could just reconsider, for gosh sakes, that extra $5 for sub pay. And instead, they came in here and found you to say, remember what we said last time? Sorry, you're not even gonna get that. We're gonna give you even less. And so it's just a kick in the teeth, all these people in this room and all the teachers in this community. And it's just, I don't know how you can't quite, I assume you do. And I know you're in awkward positions and I know you're in volunteer positions. But I can tell you that this community of teachers in Wellington is disheartened. And after what goes out tonight, they're going to be even more disheartened. I know the budget's tight, they know you've got budgetary concerns, but how do they trust from one meeting to the next when the numbers always change? That you really know, where the money is, or that if you want to know where we're gonna get it, maybe,
The only
maybe,
budgetary numbers that have
maybe
changed
there are other
is our
numbers.
scale
I don't get paid enough to.
as teachers.
So I just wanted to tell you, that's the frustration here. Nobody means any.
And our frustration is that we can say how much money we have and we can explain it over and over. $433,000 has never changed.
All those other things that I alleged are true. The information request delays, the new information, we can.
I'm ready for.
Frustrated.
Yeah, I think,
You have a right to be
I
frustrated.
think we're to the brick wall.
Okay.
I don't think we can go any further. We need,
You're offering less than last time, for sure. You're definitely saying that it's not $750.
We're offering $1,200 on the base.
And $25 for sub.
How much do you think the sub pay will cost? Do you have an estimate on
Another 10,000.
that? 10,000.
And Jessica, you said 433,000 is the new money.
433,662 is what the state
Okay.
has given
That's what I
us.
thought, but I heard you say twice 433, so I just wanted to make sure that there was the 660.
433,662.
Okay, you just didn't add that,
I'm sorry,
662,
but I
so I
forgot
just wanted to double check.
$662.
And we still ask for that
print spreadsheet.
Yeah, she's,
Okay, she's getting it, sorry.
So if I'm understanding correctly, the other proposals that are on the table, the parental leave, do you have
I don't think there's any way that we can afford that this year.
and the supplemental proposal?
I don't think that we can afford that this year.
So you're asking us to take the things that have already been signed and the offer of $1,200 plus 25 for the sub pay to the bargaining unit for a vote.
I would also love it if you would explain these numbers to them. I know that's asking a lot, but I just feel like the fact that we're going in negotiated agreement alone, we are over $300,000 more than our new money, and that doesn't include any other increase. I guess I'm having a hard time seeing how that doesn't speak volumes. I told you last year, and I know it didn't matter. I mean, I think that teachers, I do this because I come from a teaching family. I think you guys deserve everything in the world. We are doing what we can with so little, but instead we're just told that we're not doing enough and that we don't care. If we didn't care, I would have stuck with the $800 that we were originally told to do.
I don't think anybody said that you didn't care, Jessica.
I think that's exactly what was said. Like, that's.
That's not my feeling. I think what's frustrating.
No, we were told that there is 20%, that only 20% of the teachers feel supported in the board, and it's because of this.
I think this plays a part of that, yes. And I
We're not told
can't,
that.
there were comments that were made in the survey about negotiations. But I don't think
And I
that,
wonder how much of that is because
I don't think it's a personal attack against you
I
or
didn't say
Mr.
personal,
White
I think it's,
or any of the board
I think it's
members.
the board as a whole. May I ask, when these numbers do go back to the unit, are you sharing with them that we only had $433,662 to give, or?
That was one of the reasons why we asked about having these
Okay,
meetings
I'm just making sure,
recorded,
because I
anybody can come back and
get
watch
the
any of
feeling
this.
that,
And last time you were at that meeting, right, and you discussed it.
I did.
No, we like it to be a joint thing, because we're in it all together.
I just don't know what more we can do.
Can you understand though the frustration of one meeting a certain amount is offered and then the next meeting?
I 100%. I've been sick all day thinking that I had to tell you guys this. Literally nauseous. I don't know where we shouldn't have gone as high as we did, because it is gonna put us in such a bind.
So you can also probably understand that that's why there's the frustration
And
of,
I've apologized. I apologized. I will apologize again. I'm sorry, everyone. We screwed up. We screwed up big time. And we are doing all that we can. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't care about this district and didn't care about these teachers. I've realized through a lot of this process that most of my friends that I've made in this town throughout the years are teachers. And I'm here thinking of every single one of them when I sit here. And that's why it is disgusting to me that we even have to have this conversation. But again, we have squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. I don't know. That's why I keep asking. If there is an idea of where more can come from, please let me know. Obviously, we have some big ideas that we're working on, but to save big money, it's going to take big action
In time.
and time. And
You have money coming in, you don't know about the amounts of which, from a virtual program you're beginning, correct? So there should be some money, is that, am I incorrect?
I
I
don't
didn't
know
know
about
about
I'm
that.
sorry,
Yeah.
wrong table, wrong table.
Like,
Forgive me. Have you guys talked about unencumbered cash, contingency funds, capital outlay with regards to operation and maintenance
We
salaries?
brought that up, yes.
There's, I mean, it's not a lot of thousands of dollars, but, and by the way, I told this team early on when I saw the numbers from the state, lean. So it's not as if there was a unrealistic expectation, or we don't care how little money they get, we want this amount. I don't think that's how they felt. I think the way the bargain, each sessions is unfolded, and the constant like requests for information or not getting it quite right, or just, I mean, and then what happened today, I think all of that, nobody's denying budgetary challenges, so, and I certainly don't deny the thanklessness of the job you have.
And I would hope that you are seeing from our point of view that we're trying to move as much as we can move as well to meet in the middle. Like, we have not been unreasonable when we've come back and said, let's talk about this. Which I don't think necessarily is always how negotiation teams come into these type of talks. Sometimes they come in, dead set on what they're going to do. And this team has tried to work with you within reason and try
I feel
to.
like we have also, like I said, we've already gone past what was agreed upon, what was suggested, I shouldn't say agreed upon, what was suggested. I think we've had movement from both sides, but at some point we do have to recognize that we're stuck. And whether that means it goes to a vote, whether that means it goes to mediation, that's what I think we're there, and we have to decide which way we go.
I am speaking on my own opinion. I'm not opposed to taking this to a vote. I'm not hopeful that it will pass. Just based on all of the things that we've just discussed, and the general climate right now, I don't know that that's gonna pass. That's my opinion.
One of our goals that we're striving for, and we hope it's a common goal, is how are we going to retain the staff that we already have? When we're comparing to the surrounding communities and they're just getting further and further away, what's gonna be the ultimate goal?
And that's why we felt like moving this to the base rather than a one-time payment would help in that in future years.
But even that offer still puts us at a pretty
I
good
agree.
gap this
I
year. So
agree.
how are we ever gonna catch up on that gap and be comparable to those surrounding communities when it's
And
like
that's something
taking a
that-
step backwards?
That's something that we've been working on at the board table.
Maybe if there was a little more information or what discussion
Can you
there that maybe,
elaborate?
yeah, maybe people would be a little more empathetic with
Well, I mean, we've
some of the
been,
things.
I think we've been as open as we could be.
we've been discussing consolidating buildings.
Oh, okay.
We have, I mean, that would save us, we have,
It depends on how the board does
It
it.
depends on what.
it depends on how it goes, so we can't really say a number yet, but I mean, that would be a big chunk.
Sure.
We've been
And with-
looking at,
Understand that.
With those discussions, in the event that that happens, where would that money go? What is the board's thought process on the savings, where would you
I
put
think
that
most
money?
of us- I mean, I can't speak for other board members, but I know I have personally, and at least other people I've gotten the feel at the board table, that most of that would go back to, a big chunk of that would go back to salaries, if not, I mean, the savings we would have, I mean, our people are our number one commodity.
Well, I'm just asking because you also mentioned that you need to keep the district running and operating, and I don't know what all that entails. So I'm just asking if you see other areas that money would be
I think
used
the
for.
number one place for us is salaries, I mean, we see it too, we're not blind to what's happening, that's why we're looking at these things. We don't want to be in the position that we're in, we're fighting like hell to get out of it.
What do you think has put you in that position?
I'm gonna speak for myself, I think there are past decisions that have gotten us there. I think we're digging ourselves out of a hole. And I think that's where the board, all we can do, we can't look into the past. Cannot look into the past and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda, it's done. So now, what we have to do is focus on the future of the district and what we can do to keep things moving in the right direction and get us where we need to be. And that's why we're talking about things like consolidating. Chad has done a great job of looking at every little thing that he's had come through his desk and where can we cut here, consolidate here, put, if we don't have enough people. He's literally nickeling and diming the budget to the point to get all the money that he can. We're looking at enrollment trends. Adam has done a great job of making sure that when we don't have, where we can cut back on schools, two-track schools, where we can have one teacher in a track versus two. He's done a good job of that, and that's something that the board just has to continue.
A couple of meetings ago, like it had to be I don't remember, it had to be posted in something that the school possible closure, right?
There is a legal process to it.
Yeah, so has that process
So-
started, like are we looking at?
No, because we haven't,
So
we haven't
the
decided on
problem
anything.
is we have to post it, it has to be so many days, right?
Mhm.
And then there has to be a community meeting at the school so we can, hear from all sides. The thing with that, we have the legal notice drafted. The problem with that is we have to be able to say in that legal notice where the students of a school will go. The board we've got lots of different thoughts on that. We actually have a work session scheduled for November 17th. Before I put that out into the world, let me double check.
That's right.
Thank you. We have a work session for November 17th to discuss that. We went so far as to interview a company out of Kansas City that is literally their job. They do it nationwide. Look at enrollment trends. They even look at real estate trends within the city of where homes are gonna be, because you have ebbs and flows throughout a town. To kind of give us an idea of the future of where we could put students if we were to close a building. They even look at numbers for how many are in, like maybe we're looking at the wrong building. That was gonna cost upwards of $25,000. And the majority of the board didn't feel like we should be spending that much money when we kind of know where our trends are. So now it's up to us to sit down, and that's what that November 17th meeting will be. Just to get an idea of that so that we can.
I think I might
to talk to my team real quick before we continue.
Must be good.
My family wants to play really wants to eat.
This one comes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
An email.
Okay.
Thank you, so cute.
Sorry about the sticky mess.
Just take her every. Maybe you just sold something. I was just thinking about that. That's why she liked it. It's a tough break. It's hard for me this week. And so like this morning, I'm like, okay, let's see their songs on the show. Their songs on the show. Like same track. I'm like, I gotta make sure she has a new track. Like she has not taken on the right way. She should wear her dress. Yeah. Which was girls about the word's great. I make little things about it. She doesn't know what it's right now. She needs a couple of she had a temporary tattoo on her leg, and I said, you can leave that one because she needs that one tight. She put them on, she didn't know that it's not one, and she starts crying. I'm like, take no, she goes to rub the tattoo off. That's I was thinking about her today, like, it was pretty chilly today. So we did it like,
Yeah, they can wear leggings, and switch to leggings, and she would able to switch to leggings.
Tights are not, it's wide open.
Now she's like, so that's
Usually when she drew my kids. I love homeschool my kids, and I was like, I need to go out and just
I can see you teaching it. she's a social worker.
Water. One drop.
available over here. And if I'm standing over there outside, they can't see me. Right, right. And there were empty seats, so I probably stored that trip as I came in. I know, you've done it. Okay, it's easy to get around. Fill up the bus. Easy to get around, yeah. I'm sure she'll probably. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. I showed you the picture that I showed the picture that. Then you wouldn't have time to shed. Well. That's dangerous. What's that? It's oh. That's right, that's right. So how does that work with the lottery system? Yeah, okay. But she uses this. It's a scramble. If you keep paying, once you've withdrawn, okay, you can keep your spot. Okay. Until you decide to use it. Okay, I got it. So it's like golf cart stalls. So probably 3 or 4 years ago, they drew that one. So it's a good one. So yeah, it's supposed to be like. Okay. Except for the last 3 years, it's been. This just means super far away from because they've been able to use it because it's 5 miles away from Claire is the ABCTO champ. No, that's also nice. That's also today. So, but this year, so they have to do the things that they pay for. She had to battle Georgia to win. Oh.
down to space.
Sorry. Right beside you, Jake.
So we had some conversations and are considering, your offer of $1,200 on each step and the $25 for subbing. In addition to the other items that have already been signed off on, we're considering taking that to the bargaining unit for a vote. However, we have some questions that we'd like to have answered from our lawyers, and we are not able to get that done tonight. So we would like to get back with you by the end of the week through email or call to let you know if we need to meet again or if we're going to take to a vote. So by the end of the week, we should have our questions answered, and then we can let you know if we're going to, which direction we need to move in. And so I guess the only other thing would be if you want to set up a date that would either be for our teams to meet again or to have the ratification vote, depending on which way we go.
Either way, we need to meet. one
Either
more
way,
time.
there's gonna be
Yeah.
another meeting, either for us to meet or for the ratification voting. And in the past, we've always invited your team to come as well to present or talk with whatever you wanted to share information with prior to the voting. So is there a date that works best for you?
Sorry, my child's adding her own conference and I didn't know what was happening.
I would say next week is probably out with late nights of conferences. So probably the following week. And I would be available on the Monday, the 20th, or Wednesday, the 22nd. Okay.
I'm not on Monday.
22nd, does that work on Wednesday?
You're not much messing. So do we need to this for? I mean, cause we have members. Did we do that? Darcy was gonna go on 22nd, but do we have?
We'd have stuff set up for you or something.
Is that okay? Okay.
The 22nd?
Darcy won't be here, but we'll have stuff set in.
Okay. That's fine. So, can we say 4 o'clock? Or, we might, if we are going to a vote, we might move it to 3:30, just so that people, can just stay after
Be
school and not have to
convenient to-
come back.
You better say 3:45.
Or 3:45
We don't
maybe,
get
to
out
allow
till
people
3:25.
to, and normally when we do that, we do it at the high school, and so that way people can all come there, so
If it's that, are you gonna need to be there with the stuff for that? Second. Yes. Probably even, okay.
So
So
the
we need to reach out to Bob, make sure the auditorium's available.
Jerry,
22nd at 3:45 or 4. Yes. And then I will email your team and Adam by the end of the week to let you know which way our meeting will go for the 22nd. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we get that copy of the spreadsheet?
Yeah. Oh, it's on the printer sheet. I'll go grab it.
Thank you.